got one silver bullet left. Now me and my boundaries are becoming more and more intimate. Just another werewolf in the night, searching for a cure for his appetite.
Okay, so this is going to be a companion video to the one that was just up, which was a re-release. That was an original video from 8 months ago. I don't know how I stumbled upon it. I was cleaning up, doing some housekeeping on my channel, and for some reason played it. I don't know why. I really can't think of why I did that, but I kind of liked it. I liked it enough. I put it in a playlist of Best of Rob, where I get some kind of highlight kind of stuff. And it just sort of evidences my mindset and what I was thinking 8 months ago. 8 months ago. So the channel's growing kind of quickly. So I was riding my bike with no helmet, just in the city. That's a little messy there, sorry. Anyways, but it kind of evidences my mindset of 8 months ago. And what I wanted to kind of talk about today, I think the best way to do this is to talk about kind of my mindset of what I was thinking before I came here, and then a little bit maybe on first landing, and then kind of where I'm at right now. Because I think for a guy, what I try to keep my channel geared towards is the guy that's back in his home country still, or maybe very new here, or newer and just hasn't had a chance to dig into the culture maybe as much, and to try and help out, just share the painfully hard lessons that I've learned so far. But yeah, so when I was looking first at Thailand, and I mentioned this in the prior video about, like it was kind of a horse race between Vietnam and Thailand. I looked at all the other obvious Southeast Asian nations for retirement. In hindsight, I could have looked more at Laos. I mean, I kind of lumped it in with Cambodia and Vietnam because the UK government, I'm an American, but I kind of like the UK government travel advisories. I don't know if they were just more accessible or more thorough, but they seem to have more detail than the US ones at the time, whatever. And but there was basically, to my mind and to my evaluation, it looked like identical travel warnings for all three countries, and they were pretty negative. At the time, things change over year by year, I'm sure, but it was pretty honking negative, and it was not painting a pretty picture. And they were talking about Laos as absolutely having significant violent crime, robberies at knife point, and beatings and strong arm robberies, stuff like that. Just again, here your biggest risk is a pretty girl tricking you out of your money, which if you watch the channel you can avoid. And I'd mentioned this once before. I mean, I'd gotten into this vlog on this one guy who had retired in Vietnam, and he painted a very romantic, very pretty, very quaint Christmas postcard picture of Vietnam. And in my mind, that became, well, that'll be just everything in Southeast Asia. Like, why would I even have thought that? But in my total ignorance, that's what I thought. And that's just not reality. The dollar savings and the financial research that you can do online, that tends to be pretty accurate because a number's a number, I guess. I don't know, but I put a lot of budget stuff on my channel because I get a lot of questions directed at that as well. But generally, you can find good financial information online. That isn't too hard. So my financial information was solid, but everything else was pretty much way off. And longer term viewers know that's why one of the reasons I started the channel was that everything pretty much socially and relating to the culture, mingling and conversing with and going to dinner with the Thais, making friends with the Thais, bumping into them on the street, talking to the average guy wherever, whatever, and then dating, of course. All of that was almost 180 degrees wrong, and I don't know why it was so far off, but I arrived here with all my internet research extremely poorly prepared for retirement of any kind of longer term, and so involving any socializing or whatever in Thailand. It was terrible. I guess it started with pretty unrealistic expectations, and far off. I thought, I mean, part of it was I was already friends with Kru Usani by this point, and she's such a kind-hearted, nice person. She just sees the good in everything, I mean, just, she's so sweet, but not maybe necessarily the best person to help you navigate the potholes of a culture, if you follow me. I mean, I literally will go to my grave with not one bad thing to say about her, not less than one glowing thing to say about her. She's so nice, and she's been so kind to me, but someone that's just that sweet and kind and such a good heart isn't really the best person to help, kind of guide you. It's just, oh, they're all great. Well, lovely. It's not really true, but they are friendly. That is true. The Thais are very friendly, but I see that more of. And I'm going to have to put a disclaimer in here too. I mean, again, all the regular longer-term viewers know everything I'm talking about is pretty much Isan region, rural region, outside a major metropolitan area, absolutely outside a tourist area. Anything not that is going to be different. Oh, there's Fawn's food's arrived. Hang on, I got to go pay for her food. I promise I'd do that. Okay, I'm back. I just had to do that and take care of that for her. I promise I do that. Yeah, so, you get the idea. It was a little bit of a cluster with arriving and not getting that, and then, and then settling in with the Thais, and on the surface, there's a high standard for politeness. Like, you need to understand, it's an insanely high standard, and it will kind of skew a little bit what things look like.
All right, so as I was filming this, I was trying to avoid using the word veneer. And pardon me, I'm back home. I'm on my front porch. It's a little cluttered. We've done, you'll see in the bonus footage, did a pump project, which is just over there off camera. And it's what it is. It's all good. Anyways, it's a Tuesday. It's a great day. I'm in a great mood. I've had the day that I had planned on having, and everything has gone well. But like as the politeness is kind of a veneer that often can be very true. And my notes there in the video put a really painfully fine point on it, unfortunately, for me and for people coming here maybe. But this is the village culture, and I'm going to do a video on this. This will be one, like, maybe I'll keep my head down for a while after I put it out. I don't know. I don't do took anybody, and the Thais have been good to me, and Thailand's been fantastic to me. But there's this obsession with money and wealth and whatnot, and when what I've done, and I did the gold video, which came up a few weeks ago, I wear some gold bot from time to time, okay, and so someone can't, I'm sort of talking out of both sides of my mouth with this, but this is the way, to me, I think it's the best way. So on one hand, Fawn can point to, hey, look, he's building a house for me, he takes great care of everybody, and blah blah blah. But on the other hand, I've told people that I know well here that are have some care towards me, when asked, say I'm poor. Don't say I'm a rich foreigner. Don't do that. I don't want that. I don't want that baggage. I don't want people coming, oh, you're rich, hey, let's go to dinner. I don't want any of that. A lot of guys out here in the villages do the Don Trump thing, the billionaire thing, and that's great for them. Whatever makes you happy, I've got no problem. You do whatever you want. There's no skin off my nose. I don't care. But I don't want to do that. I want to be left alone. I like it quiet. I like it easy. I'm sitting here reading my books and watching the occasional movie that, maybe the same movie my boy just watched, and we talk about it, and I'm good with that. So, but yeah, these people did not like that answer. Anyway, so back to the video.
Times are a lot. We'll skew things a lot all the time. I guess you could say that even. Anyway, so I kind of settled in, and then had kind of a meltdown a little bit. I had some culture shock. I had true culture shock, and it was painful. I was not understanding my surroundings well. I signed my divorce. Long-term viewers know this already, but I signed my divorce papers, and less than 24 hours later, I believe it was, or right around 24 hours, I was on a plane to Thailand. I was out. I was gone by dawn, baby. I had my bags packed already. So that was that. I just needed out for sure. But So yeah, really kind of so stressful situation, right? I mean, a guy might brag about, oh yeah, I got rid of my wife. It sucks, it hurts, right? I was planning on going the whole way, and that's not going to happen. That's not reality anymore. So yeah, that's stressful, And then you're moving. They say moving is stressful, the same as like a death. So I moved from my house, my beautiful condo in Bloomfield Hills, to my friend's house, which was also a very nice house, and and we had a great time. It was just me and him, two bachelors hanging, and we had a freaking fantastic time. I will forever be thankful to him for that. He was just super cool about everything. It was just like what I needed. It was just with the decompression I needed. It was very relaxing and helped a lot. But then I moved again to another continent, another culture, another language, and it just, my God, So I would not underestimate those things. They're significant factors, and they'll screw with your head a little bit, And then during all that, I'm trying to date this totally foreign culture, like, let me check, a complete idiot. I first moved into the city of Kolad, and then I came out here after a while. But in the meanwhile, I dated several ladies that were. Oh, here's this kind of funny. I mean, there's kind of an evolution. I mean, the first ones were just more physically, more all the attributes were physical, and all that kind of stuff. And then as it went on, everybody matured a little bit more. And then I was, the last lady that I broke it off with, I was dating her at the same time as Fawn, and which Fawn knew. I was upfront with everybody. She was the same age as Fawn as well, and she turned out to be a scammer. That was out of 4 ladies. I was kind of doing the Whitman sampler with 4 ladies. I let everybody know what I was doing. I didn't want to do the player thing and all that. I didn't know the word Jiao Chu back then, but I knew what a player was. And that one turned out to be a scammer. So out of 4 that I had narrowed it down to, even after all my prior experience, I still one scammer slipped through. It is crazy, and it does. And it will skew your thinking. It will skew your opinion of the population here, I think, because the scammers are better at finding foreigners, because we're scamming. We're a lot easier to scam. We tend to have more money. We're the fat pickings, we're the easy pickings. And it will kind of skew your opinion. You think, oh my God, 90% of the women here are terrible. And then I really don't think that's true. I have no way of knowing that, okay, obviously. But it will skew your sampling, because the ones that are easier to find tend not to be the good ones. Or a higher percentage of them, I guess is what I would say. But it got quite relaxing quite quickly and quite nicely. And then I was just spending more and more time with Fawn, and then I moved in with her and all that good stuff. And that's great. And she also was my language teacher. Usani is my first language teacher, but Fawn was my second language teacher. So I was flirting with the teacher. It started as a friendship, and then of course it grew into something different, but which is a good way to go. I never did the friendship thing before back in the States. If I was friends with a lady, then there was like friend zone, once you're a friend, it's like, it's weird, right? And then you don't date them, but now maybe it's probably a more mature mindset. Maybe I'll eventually grow up. Unlikely, but no, but now I'm here, and now I'm settled in. And now I have an understanding of the culture, but now this is all behind me. I've had this channel for more than a year, and I really mean this. I've learned an enormous amount. I did this just to share some of the things that I found, this real husband concept, the geeking, and the Mia Noi, and all these things that I haven't heard other channels talk about. And I'm not going to go scour YouTube, and I don't care who talks about what. But back when I was looking, nobody talked about it, and I still get comments every single week. You're the only guy sharing all this stuff. These are things that I'm sure other people are sharing them somewhere. I'm confident I'm not the only person that broadcasts this, but there aren't probably a whole lot. Generally, this is all kind of part of Thai culture that's kept sort of secret. And I am going to do some deep dive videos on the kind of the deeper, the real Thai culture. So now I kind of have all this under my belt, and it's like having a quiver full of arrows. I got the right arrow for most situations. And I'm pretty immersed. It's pretty. I mean, and I have been noticing when I go into even the city of Kola, which is still a city itself within the Isan region. It's the largest city in the Isan region, I'm told. But even there, So I'm not in Bangkok, I'm not in Buriram, I'm not in a more modern, more city full of more Westerners and more modern thinking. And even there's a pretty big difference in the people there versus the people that I'm immersed with out here. So I am out in the deep villages a fair bit. And so when you hear me talking about anything here, always keep that in mind, that I'm seeing and living in this deep, older, traditional village culture that's much less modern. And this would be, if you meet a lady that's been living in Buriram, I'm just going to, I've only been through there for one day at a time twice. I know nothing about Buriram other than I know it's a big modern city, okay, and it's popular with foreigners, and it's a nice place. It's not my taste, but it's certainly a very nice city. And if you meet a lady there, they're going to be way less of this old village kind of stuff, I would think, generally speaking, on average. I mean, you can meet anybody there. You can meet Bozo the clown there for all I know, but on average, you're not going to meet these deep traditional rural people in a modern city, right? You're not going to meet a farmer from Iowa walking down the street in New York City. You could, but statistically that's less likely. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so that's my reality here, and I just like the quiet. I just like the quiet. I like not being annoyed. I like it quiet. I like not being aggravated. I like not being argued with. Today's going to be a great day. After this, I'm going to go get a Japanese massage. That lady rubs that crazy dowel thing on my nerves and stuff, which feels like nothing, and then a day later, you're lightly sore. And I'm praying to God that maybe, hopefully tomorrow, or certainly no later than Thursday, I can have a nice workout this week. I've rested for several days. I had a couple workouts, like only 2-3 days of rest between. I think I did 3 workouts like that in a row with resting only 2 to 3 days. And that's a lot for my arthritis as we get older, right? And I did a video on fitness and stuff a little bit, which I think will be very relevant to guys. It's a fitness with quite a significant twist for older men. I think you'll like it. But anyway, so today I'm going to do a massage, and I'm going to go to Rusty's Cafe. My friend Rusty should be coming back in, I think, this or next month. He comes back for a few weeks or a month or something, so I'm going to try and I'll shoot him a text, say, hey, let me know when you're in town. And then, but I'm going to study Thai all day. I've been a little lazy. I've watched a couple movies lately. I watched the movie Appaloosa yesterday. Loved it. Last night, loved it. Ed Harris is a big star in Hollywood, and he actually co-wrote, I think, and then directed the movie. And he really, like a personal project. And it's really, he plays a fantastic character, obviously, with Viggo Mortensen. Very good. If you like Westerns, it's a classic, not imaginative, just a good classic Western story. I think that's what they were trying for, and I'm going to say they hit the nail on the head. So, and this is a typical day, and it's lovely. And I just paid my rent back home on my apartment with my boy, and that was nice too. And it's just nice, I got all my pensions and stuff all sorted. My money comes in on time now, and I've got all the little money transfer apps, and I, pay myself my salary every month, and I live comfortably in my means, and I don't have hardly a worry in my head. And when I have issues with fun, which if you've got a woman, if you've got a romantic female partnership relationship, you're going to have ongoing issues of some kind. My opinion, maybe it's me, I don't know, but to me, there's always some kind of maintenance needed in those relationships. It's not like having a best friend or a close friend where you just go, hey man, what's going on, I mean, I've got a couple close friends here, and you guys all know I'm really good friends with Davo over at On the Go with Davo on YouTube. And, that's like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Hey, there's never a drama or a hassle with your friend. I don't know why that is, but when you got a romantic thing, there's always something. But, I'm learning what Fawn is more used to, and what's appropriate for me to do or not. Now, again, can I engage as a Thai man? No. But does that mean I have to be an open wallet all the time? No. And can I do maybe more for her than she's used to expecting from her prior Thai husband, her Thai ex-husband? Yes, I can and I should. He didn't really do much, which is not uncommon in a rural village marriage, by the way. And I'm going to do a whole video on that, by the way, because that's been eye-opening. I've learned a lot about that lately, listening to Fawn, her relationship, which she says is very stereotypical for her friends here. Well, the ones that go south. I mean, the ones that are good, that's a whole different kettle of fish. But the ones that go south, there's kind of the stereotypical things that tend to happen that make them go south, and I want to talk about that. So when you meet a divorced woman, you kind of have an idea of what her history is a little bit, maybe what she's used to or not. And help you maybe understand her a little bit and make a relationship a little, more efficiently and better and all that stuff. But, but for my end now and for your end, I mean, learning through me, yeah, I want to help, and I do help, and I help a lot. And I actually had her parents, she came back to me complaining that her parents chewed her out because she didn't give me adequate warning to spend a reasonable amount of money. I mean, 16,000 baht, so $500 US, give or take, almost 450, and on 2 pumps, some pipe, and a big storage tank. And we did pressurized water at her apartment complex. We got that all done, but then I kind of complained. I said, hey, look, you got to warn me. This is not like nothing. I had to pull extra money out of my account. I don't just walk around with 30, 40 grand on me all the time. That would be a stack of 1,000 baht notes that thick. It would be hard to fit that in your pocket. I mean, you'd look like an idiot or a target for a mugging or something. Anyways, and they kind of chewed her out a little bit for that, which I kind of appreciated. Little things like that let you know that you're in a good situation. If you're in a more scammy kind of environment, it's never too much. It's always a good time for you to pay. There's never a wrong time to pay. There's no amount that's too high, and you start getting with people like that, and yeah, they're poor and everything, but they're also supposed to be good-hearted Buddhists, right? They're supposed to be considerate, decent people, right? Now my mindset's a lot more calm. I'm still calming. I still got to calm down more. I'm still not as calm as I should be. This is going to be a process, and I can see that. And everyone's different, and I'm different than you. And for me, I've got a little bit of fire in my belly. I mean, I love fighting. I love sparring. I've got a friend who's really into Muay Thai. I don't want to fight him, like do an actual fight, like in a ring of fight, because he's 20 plus years, 25 years younger than me or something, and he trains Muay Thai very seriously, and he's fresh from it, where I'm getting a little dusty and old. And I'll spar him though. I'll do some sparring. I want to spar him. I really want to spar him because I'm curious how I, on the whole, I've had way more training, but I'm old and I'm rusty. I'm just kind of curious how it stacks up, and also show me what I could be working on if I ever heal this freaking back. Anyways, but so I'm kind of that guy that I still like my loud heavy metal. When I work out, I put my AirPods in, I turn the music up a little bit, and put my Megadeth or Metallica on there, and I'm a pretty happy. Black Sabbath, I'm a big Black Sabbath guy. Put that on kind of loud, and I'm having a great time. For a guy almost 60, that might be here unusual. I don't know. So it might take me, all that to say, it might take me a while yet to calm down, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm certainly calmer than I was 2 years ago when I landed here. I was like, my nerve endings were frayed from having upended and altered every aspect of my planned retirement in like less than 12 months. I mean, that's pretty nutty. And in the video prior to this, the Rob Story thing, I talk about that. And is that not a crazy story or what? So now here I am. Now I kind of understand my environment a lot better. It's a lot calmer. I'm learning when and how hard and how much and how often to push back with fawn or another Thai. And this testing thing, the more I see this, I see more and more of it. This social testing that the Thais like to do with each other, and they really like to do with foreigners, I'm seeing that a lot. And I'm still missing it half the time until later I'm like, oh, they were testing me. Oh, I get it now. I'm slow sometimes. It takes me a while, or sometimes Fawn does. It's just a habit with them. She does something, and I think she's saying some crap to me, like, you can't, that's rude as hell. You can't say that. And she goes, I'm joking. I'm like, the testing, the testing. So, okay. So that's kind of been a biggie for me lately. I've been kind of working on that because I'm so freaking immersed. I get this stuff all the time, and it's interesting too, what ladies flirt with older foreign men and which ones don't. I find that kind of interesting. I'm not interested in any of them, but it's interesting to see sometimes, and it is, and I like what I wrote in my book. I think that really turned out to be so true. That in general, the Thais make a lot less eye contact, and particularly if you're anything remotely approaching age appropriate for dating, which in Thailand is a broad range, let me assure you. And people who say they don't date way different ages here don't know Thai culture, because man, they date huge age gap relationships are really quite, okay, just checking who that was, are really quite common here. And if somebody like that, and then they're not interested, they will like, you could go like this, you know, and they will, their eyes will not meet yours. I mean, they just almost won't do it. It's interesting. I just find, I don't know. I've always been a bit of a people watcher. Nothing more fun than going to a Walmart on a Friday at 11 o'clock at night, right? Well, that's probably one reason I find this also interesting. But anyway, so there's some thoughts there. I'll work on this video more later. I'm kind of, you know, I got to organize my thoughts a little bit more, but here's a little piece of it. So anyways, that's that.
Well, I guess that all turned out pretty well then, didn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's been over 2 years I've been here, and that video is 8 months old, and you can see the progress I've made. I mean, that's all my choice. And I'm probably a little sensitive to the issue about so many guys out here just falling into alcoholism, because it runs in my family. I've got several relatives more than just a few, that have serious alcohol problems. Praise God, it's never been a big issue. I could always stop. I could always slow down. Right now, on my own choice, just what I want, not what I'm fighting myself to not want. I have like a couple beers a week or something, and that's it. So I'm fortunate, you know. And I had a sugar addiction, and I seem to be over that as well. So hey, we're firing on all cylinders here. I think it's the lack of stress that helps with all of this. I honestly do. Right now, my only frustration is this darn YouTube stuff. It's really, I'm trying to monetize the channel so I can give some income to my son, and it's really complicated. It's like, I didn't know you can't just go on YouTube and go click monetize. Like, why can't you do that? I'm sure it's some legal technicality of how they make more money and I make less. I'll guarantee you that's it. But you have to set up 2 other separate entities on the internet and then link them all together in a very particular way. I probably got to find a local YouTuber, but they're all going to want the instructions in Thai, so that'll be interesting. But that'll be a translational nightmare, huh? But we'll probably have to do that. But anyways, it's you know, whatever. This is the thing. You try to do something, and then this is the reward you get, right? Anyway, so I'll keep pecking away at that. Everything else is okay. The gym is still closed. A lot of businesses are still closed. We're in the new year, but they shut down for quite a while in Thailand. I'm learning. I didn't know that. So I'm going to work out at home because I have no choice. So I'm going to do that and try and forget everything else, and then go ride my motorcycle and go have a green tea latte somewhere and call it a freaking day. That's what we're going to do. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see what everybody thinks of this. And if regular viewers, if you didn't like that I've reissued an older video, apologize. That I've put it up as like an additional content. I'm doing about 2 videos a week now. That'll be at least the 3rd video in the same week. So it wasn't a laziness thing where I put it up so I didn't have to do anything. I've got so much content I can't get it all out. So it's not like I'm trying to stretch out my content. I got the opposite problem, believe me. It was kind of funny. I went and I looked, and I went through the whole queue of where the pipes are and stuff, and I'm like, that's correct, right? I'm talking in Thai because he only speaks Thai, and I'm like, that's correct, right? And you know, and then he hasn't broken the water pipe yet that goes to the house right now, so the apartment complex. I'm like, oh, okay, but there's a moment of, oh, crap, I'm going to have to explain how this is not correct and do it in a saving face, reasonable, polite way, but not a problem, thank God. Here's one of the 3 rooms we're going to have available. Basic window, no screens. We put 1 shelf in up here. All the rooms got a shelf, it's like a pantry shelf. You get a brand new back door, and they get a little shelf in the bathroom area. That's a basic Thai toilet right there. Mine has a Western toilet. And then all the rooms have got fresh paint, which I got to touch up along there. But that's easy. And that's the pump I gave to Kun Pa. They're storing it here until they install it. And they're still doing the installation up there. That's Yui's husband. The idea is that
you know, the rent will go up. It's a little classier looking place, more saving of face, a little bit more money coming in, a little more for the future, that kind of thing. And gets fun and her family thinking about investing and doing versus just, you know, having gold or things like that that are less productive. Not that gold's not an investment, because it is here. Actually, it's one of the better investments you can make in the village, crazy as that sounds. But real estate, rental rooms are going to be better. So we had a broken pipe we had to cut out. By we I mean Noy, Yui's husband. He's been really good about this. I've handled what to pay him and how to handle it through fun, so we do nice by everybody and make it cultural. I was going to overpay, which would be bad. So Fawn and Kunpa have it. Anyways, he found a giant centipede, 2. That was exciting. They apparently live in the dirt. I did not know that. Good to know. But this will act as a regulator. You can see the broken he's cut out, and he's made this piece here. And it's great because you can close that a little bit and kind of use that as a very crude regulator for pressure. I'm a little worried about overpressure with the water because that pump I bought is pretty powerful. It's like, what could this strange sound be? Welcome to Thailand. You gotta love it. It's like, what the heck? My name is Rob, and thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. I meant every word I just said with respect.